Hi, I'm Glorp, contributor to the Community Mod Framework. You may know me from my mod Glorp UI, and I'll be walking us through some of the in-game features of the Community Mod Framework. First of all, when loading into a game of EU5, you can now see mod banners. Similar to Paradox's DLC banners, this is a new feature that can be configured using the Community Mod Toolkit. As you can see, I'm currently running Community Mod Framework and Glorp UI. Now let's get into the game. When in-game, there are a few places we can open the Community Mod menu, either by clicking this button on the CMF action bar, by opening the main menu and clicking Mod menu, or by pressing the M shortcut key. The Community Mod menu is a unified settings menu for all of your mods. Modder can create and configure their own entry in this mod menu using the Community Mod Toolkit. Take for example my mod, Glorp UI. I can simply search my mod using the search bar. Then I can begin selecting the options I want. My settings will even follow me from country to country. An example of a more in-depth mod settings menu is Construction Manager. There are a lot of different option types for the mod author to configure. Checkboxes, buttons, drop-downs, sliders, lists, and more. CMF itself comes with a few options, including the ability to toggle the game's debug mode on and off. Enabling restricted tool usage, which allows the player to use host tools, a simple cheap menu that can be used in both single player and multiplayer. Actions taken here will be logged into the mod action log, accessible from the mod menu. This keeps track of host tool actions taken and can't be cleared when used in multiplayer. And finally, we have some options for the CMF action bar. The action bar is a single place for mod authors to add custom actions. This helps us avoid conflicts when multiple mods are trying to add buttons to the same place. Then finally, CMF adds support for creating custom alerts in the Alerts Manager at the top of the screen. These act the same as regular alerts. Mod authors may code them to do any functionality they want, and you can right-click to dismiss them. That concludes everything I wanted to show you about the Community Mod Framework. Thank you for your time. I'll now pass you over to Connor, who will go more into depth with the Community Mod Toolkit.
Hello everyone, I'm Connor, the current lead maintainer of the EU5 Community Mod Framework, as well as the creator of and contributor to many other mods you may or may not have seen or heard of. I'm going to be walking through the Community Mod Toolkit, which is a companion toolkit to the mod framework, with many utilities meant to help with various parts of creating mods. I'll briefly showcase some of its features, but you can find the full documentation on its GitHub wiki page, and a shorter quick guide version on its Paradox wiki page. To showcase the toolkit's usefulness, I'm going to be walking through how to create and maintain a simple mod using it. To start, I'm going to open this empty mod folder I just created, and I'm going to open it in terminal. Now I'm going to copy the setup command from the toolkit's GitHub wiki page. Then I'll paste it into the terminal and run it. This has filled the folder with a template mod for us to edit, as well as a bunch of configuration files, and the tools from the toolkit for us to use. I'll start by opening my editor of choice, in this case IntelliJ. Then I'll fill in all the fields in the mod's metadata. Now I've just made a minor visual change to the in-game pause banner that will display this message whenever it's visible. I want this message to be optional, with a setting that allows the player to enable and disable it at will. So I added this visibility condition that will make it only appear when this variable is set. Currently, there's nothing that sets it and no interface for the user to use, but this is actually the end of our manual changes to the mod. The rest will now be handled by the bundled tools. We're going to make use of the Community Mod Menu visual editor, which is used as the aforementioned shared mod menu in CMF. All we need to do is launch the .bat file that sits inside your tools folder, and either double click it, or in my case use the terminal, both of which open up the visual editor in your browser like this. On the left is where we'll configure everything, and on the right is a visual preview for you to see your changes live. First, I just need to set the mod ID. We'll use CMTS for CMT Showcase as we've been using. Then I'll create a tab and a group, leaving the default values, and then we'll make our one toggle. I'll set the display name, show pause message, and I'll make its default value on. You can see our preview of what it'll look like here on the right. And this is the default accessor, which is how we can access this setting. We're going to change it to be the variable that we're using for this visibility condition. So I'll copy it from here, press the edit, paste it in, press confirm, and now all we have to do is press save, and that's it. I open up GitHub Desktop. I can scroll through all the changes that it's made for us to create all these files using the CMF API to set everything up. And the API itself is rather simple. You can always do this manually without the visual editor as well. As you can see, there's really not that much that had to be done for this to all exist. In game, we can just enable the mod as so and apply. Now here we are in game. And as you can see, the message is displaying correctly. And we have our show pause message toggle, which when I turn off, turns the message off. And when I turn it on, shows it again. Our mod currently only supports English, but we'd like to translate into more languages so that more people can use it. The toolkit can also help with this. It is a translation tool that does require some additional setup to register with either Google or DeepL as your translation provider, but once you do this, you can run translate.py, which will translate into every natively supported EU5 language. And if we open up GitHub Desktop, we can see it's exactly what it did. Now it's finally time to release our mod. We can easily do this using the uploader tool. Simply running the command, and then after waiting a bit, if I enter into Steam, reloading, and now we can see here's the mod. Now it's time to show the final tool in the toolkit. This one is to help us maintain our mod. In order to make our change, we've overridden this vanilla type, but in the future, if the base game updates and it changes this, it could break our mod. It could be a nuisance to manually check each type every time a game updates to see if something changed. So instead, we're going to use the GUI update tool. First, I'm going to initialize it. Now I actually created this on the version 1.3.6 of the game in order to show you exactly what happens when something gets updated. Now I've just updated the vanilla file back to the latest version, and when I run the check tool, it shows us that one definition changed in vanilla. Here, if I then go ahead and run merge, it'll go ahead and try and merge it into our mod. If there's a conflict, it'll notify you, but in this case, it managed to do it automatically. And if we go and look at the history, we can see that this was the update that happened to vanilla. Now to apply it to our mod, all we need to do is type apply, and we can see the change just got made here, matching the latest version of vanilla. Now with this change made, we can simply go ahead and run the upload tool again, and our mod has been successfully updated to the latest version of the game. Both the mod framework and its companion toolkit are community made and run, and we welcome all contributions. If you ever have any questions, the best place to reach out is the EU5 Mod Co-op Discord server.